Okay. Can you guys hear me? Are we good? 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 I'm not a minute late, Raven Porter. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. I was right on time. I checked. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Finally got it working. Perfect, perfect. Got a graduation? Hey! Congrats, Esoteric. Still can't hear Plant Parade? That's weird. What's up, Baki Dearest? What's going on? Shout out to Pan Pizza. I'm glad we got the sound working. Let's get some let's get some weeb lo-fi tunes popping here. I don't think we're gonna find a Thundercats remix mix. I highly doubt that. No, I don't. Yeah, that's not happening. Nope. I mean, we could just let it autoplay, but I don't think that's gonna really be a vibe at all. So let's go to lo-fi hip hop radio because we're trash like that. Cool. Yeah. So as you can see, we're hey, what's up? What's up, Midget Kangaroo? Does that mean Lappy's gonna join? Lappy should be joining at some point, I believe. Actually, let me tweet out the stream. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Let's talk about this. Wait, CalArts style. CalArts style. Let's settle this. Yeah. Let's settle this. Let's settle this civilly. Hopefully. There we go. All right, we have tweeted. Let me retweet it on my personal Twitter. Chibi-Cats Roar. Yes, you murder Lappy for constantly roasting us all the time. Is the music at a decent level? I think it should be. Cool. Yes, Lappy is now dead. Lappy's not here for some reason. I'm surprised. Where's Hailey? Hailey is busy. She's got an exam coming up, so she's gonna be gone for a little while. I will turn the music up a little bit. There we go. That should be enough, I think. Cool, cool. So we're talking about Thundercats because, well, it's kind of deeper than Thundercats about the whole argument of the CalArts style. I feel like this warrants discussion, and I think a lot of you guys have a lot to say about it. I would imagine. So we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Overall, I have mixed feelings. I think the TLDR is that I don't think the show itself is gonna be bad, but I understand why people are upset. So without getting into too much detail and with being respectful, with how you portray your opinion, hey, thank you, Cindy Peach, for the nice shirt comment. What are you guys' initial thoughts on the show? Obviously, we don't know how good or bad the show is going to be. I think it's going to be a good show as a standalone. I don't have any attachment to it as a Thundercats fan. But do you guys think that the show is kind of a problem? And like just yes or no. Like, we can get into details later, but yes or no. Do you dig the show so far, or are you kind of like meh? I get why people complain about the art style, human creativity. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand it. I have no opinion. I'm completely blind on the situation. Am I giving? Okay, so yeah. So for you guys who don't know, those who have not been on Twitter or Tumblr or Reddit or even Facebook for the past few days to a week, there's a new Thundercats reboot. We can actually punch it up over here. Thundercats Roar. So we can punch up the announcement trailer real fast. Need this. So for those who haven't seen this, I won't play the whole thing, I don't think. I'll play the whole thing. Why not? Why not? Turn the speakers off. I just realized my speakers are on, so it's probably bleeding into the mic. I apologize. Apologize for that.
Hey there, everyone. My name's Lion-O, and I'm the star of a new show called Thundercats
This is
Roar.
Lion-O.
Wait,
Now.
You don't know what a Thundercat is? Well, let's start small. I'm a Thundercat, and this is my magic slicing stick, Sword of Omens. Give me sight beyond sight.
Teen Titans Go 2.0. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of similarities to Teen Titans Go, I think. But I don't know.
I grew up
not a fan of ads either, but
my older brothers
they support the movement.
I watched a bunch of it when I was a kid and sort of stuck with me for a long time.
Because here's the thing, he's working on the show. He apparently has watched a lot of the show as a kid, so that's a good sign. That means he has genuine love for the reboot, for the source material that he's actually working on. So that's good.
I think that the world that they built lends itself really well to comedy because of how silly and crazy and outlandish some
comedy.
Of
That's really the argument people
settings are. But at the same time, like it wouldn't be Thundercats if it didn't have super cool action elements, because that's what people came back to. Is very much something that we want to lean on.
So there's still gonna be action elements. I think that ponytail. Yeah, it's on fleek, boy. I think. So he says there's gonna be action elements. Obviously, action looks better when it's more into, at least in my opinion, I feel like it looks better in the classic Teen Titans. Wow, that dislike bar. Oh my god. Whoa, I did not even see that. Holy crap. I feel like action elements probably lend itself better to, the old style Teen Titans. Jesus Christ. That too. The old style Thundercats, but.
So
and the
new
2011
show,
reboot.
We're not walking away from the action in any bit. Every step we take towards comedy, we take two more towards really
so there's still
cool
action
scenes and explosions and.
It's not gonna be
effects.
quite the same.
When I eventually started learning how to
imagine.
animate, I looked at Thundercats, like especially the opening sequence, all the freaking time for reference. The original
a lot of references.
Intro is animation history gold. It's a challenge by
the
original show. If you're gonna do a new Thundercats, you better make the intro good. It's gotta be exceptionally good. The concept of the intro
is on
the
fleek,
entire backstory of the Thundercats, all the way from the explosion of Thundera to their chase through space, to their crash landing on Third Earth, to being attacked by Mum-Ra and the mutants and building Cat's lair. All these.
Hey, thank you, Jeremy Joestar, for the $5 super chat. Sort of Tumblr gave me soy beyond soy. Also, he said on Twitter he hated the original Thundercats. So how do you make something you never like? I saw that picture. I don't know if he actually said that, so we can check that in a second.
One big, crazy, sweeping camera move. Everything was.
We can check that
driven by
in
music.
a second.
I basically scoured my music library for anything that felt like the right kind of energy. As soon as I got this song, Thunder Neko by Shinsei Kawaki-chan. It was impossible to break away from that. There was nothing that could compete with the energy that this song has.
So they just use that song,
I
guess.
all about praise and love of the original. So
it's all about praise and love of the original. So it's at least from the creator standpoint, they're trying to do it respectfully.
This is the Thundercats show that I want. So hopefully you do too.
Wow, that was fun! Who knew making animation was so complicated? Now, what do you say we watch a little video clip? Actually, I don't have any idea what this thing is. Let's see if it works like this! Yep, guess it does.
Okay, this is the intro, right? Yeah. I mean, the intro is really dope. I'm sorry. That is a sick intro. That's so dope. That's pretty cool. That was a cool intro. Is the rest of his head shaved? Like I don't know. I don't think so. So that's Thundercats Roar. If you're not familiar with the original looks way different, obviously. Much more serious in tone. Completely different. Hope we don't get sniped for this. It's a sort of similar nature, but oh my god, that lighting is so nasty. That's, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool intro. So this is the original Thundercats, and then there's the 2011 reboot. It really does look like OKKO, like at least to the untrained eye, it looks like. So this is very similar to the original, at least. I think the music's basically the same. Yeah, it's literally the same. Is this just did they just dump the same audio? Like, is that what's happening? I think this is fan made. Wait, is this the real one or? That they kept. I guess this is. Is it official? Isn't it? Yeah, I didn't think so. I was like, this doesn't seem right at all. Hailey's in the chat, guys. Cartoon Universe. The Cartoon Universe in the chat is
You took my father's life.
okay, spoilers. Yeah, that seems more right. Yeah, for the record, I've never seen any of the Thundercats. So you get the drill. You get the vibe if you're not familiar with Thundercats. This is like a complete, utter departure from the original one and the 2011 reboot. Everybody, give some F's in the chat for Hailey. She's currently buried in preparing for an exam and schoolwork and all that good stuff. So let's get some F's in the chat for Hailey because she is suffering and she deserves better. Let's get some F's. All right, so that's Thundercats. If you didn't know about it, so yeah, they recently announced that they are rebooting Thundercats like this, very OKKO style, very goofy comedy, and it obviously got a lot of hate. If the dislike bar here is any indication, I don't know if there's even comments. Lot of comments. They look mostly negative at the moment. Hey, what's up, Shamar Nachos? TKO the reboot is an F. So should we give her A's? I guess A's would technically would make more sense since it's school related. Love Thundercats. While I'm not exactly the new series, I will definitely check it out. I hope the creators prove my hypothesis with the show. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the creators. Here's the thing. I trust the creators as creators. I trust yes, all the A's for me, please. I trust creators as creators. I trust that the show will probably be very good as a standalone. Again, I don't know. I've not watched the original Thundercats. I watched little bits and pieces. I've only watched the remake in little bits and pieces. So I'm not super familiar. I know like all the references from like other shows in pop culture. Family Guy, Robot Chicken, they reference them a lot. Yeah, apparently Hailey has someone who wants to hop on through Discord. Yeah, I'll add him in a second. Let's check that, before we do that, let's check that. No D's! Don't want any D's. Before we do that, let's check that tweet, that apparently has the, I think it was Max Millman claiming that he, was it Max Millman? No, it wasn't Max that he didn't like the original Thundercats and he hated it. And this is getting too meta because I have the stream on. So let's see if we can find that, because I did see that floating around, but I didn't see the tweet itself. I only saw the picture, so I didn't actually see the tweet. So who's let me see what his name is. I apologize.
I grew up watching
Victor. Okay, Victor Courtright. So Victor Court. Hello, Courtright. Okay then, never mind. Fair enough. Fair enough. It may not have been Victor Courtright. It was someone working on the show who like hated it. Apparently, I didn't ever actually see the tweet. I just saw a picture of the tweet. If anyone knows what tweet I'm talking about, definitely hit me up. Definitely hit me up. So all that being said, let's get this person on the line. This is a cell phone. I actually didn't get. Let me. Hailey, is it Charles? Is that the person that added me on Discord? Let me know. So, yeah. Hey, congrats, Scorched Universe. Charles, okay. I don't think I've ever met Charles. Let's see. So overall, I think my initial reaction to this is I understand why people are upset. I get it. It makes sense. It's a huge departure, but I think a lot of people use a lot of bad arguments to justify their anger, essentially. So let's add Charles. He's apparently I think he's helped Hailey edit some of her videos on the channel or something like that, or write potentially. So let's I just accepted his request, and I guess I'll wait for his message. Cool. Hey, Lappy is in the chat. Lappy has returned. Welcome back. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm getting a call. Hello? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. What's going on?
Hey, I'm Charles.
Hey everybody, welcome Charles to the stream. Charles, you are live right now.
Yes, I know. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
It's the first time we met, I believe.
Yeah, it is. How's
It's
it going?
nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as well. Very
We've only
digitally meet you.
Yeah, we've only interacted indirectly through Hailey and through the videos.
Yeah.
that I've written so far.
Yeah, so this
But I did watch a few of your streams.
Oh, cool.
About various stuff.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of random discussions lately.
Yeah, I actually have a bit to say about this particular discussions, but not this stage of the discussion. Like, I don't
Gotcha.
have any particular initial reaction
Okay.
to the announcement itself, but the reaction to the announcement, if that
Right.
makes sense. I do have a lot to say about that.
Cool. Yeah, well, we were just about to
Basically-
dive into that, so you can go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, basically there was about a bunch of hate and
Yeah.
comments about the announcement, and then a lot of people in the animation industry that responded to it with various degrees of response. Most of it like tried to make fun of it, which is reasonable, but a lot of it raised some arguments, and I do have a lot to say about this response to the response from the animation industry and the animation professional. So, if later we could watch some of the responses, I have a few posts in mind. I'd have to find them, but if we could see them and discuss them as well as the response to the announcement itself, and that would be swell.
For sure. So, have you seen the original Thundercats series or the 2011 remake?
I saw none of them.
Okay.
I am more interested in the interaction between the fans and the critics
Right,
and
the
the
backlash.
animation industry and the show itself. Yeah, the backlash and the response to the backlash,
Gotcha.
and my response to the response to the backlash, basically.
Gotcha. Cool. So we've got someone by the name of Nico Colaleo. I hope I said that right. And apparently he's a creator of Too Loud, which is a part of DreamWorks television show. You guys want to check out what that is?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. This is it. This is Too Loud. This looks very this looks very Ren and Stimpy. It's almost like he almost looks like Loud House. I forget his name. But he's it looks very old school, like Ren and Stimpy, and just like absolutely insanity.
Yeah, there was some controversy in quotation that this show Too Loud is the quote-unquote ripoff of the Loud House, but there's really not much similarities between a similar title.
Yeah, and he does look like him because like Loud House. You compare the two, like I mean, the character designs are similar, but other than that, I mean, it doesn't look like it's the same show. This looks more zany and crazy.
Yeah. By the way, actually, I can't see anything that you're seeing, so you can.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, you can just check it on the stream.
Yeah, I can't. I'm using my phone.
Gotcha.
So, cool. Let's see if I can see the stream and continue the call simultaneously. I think.
Cool. You should be able to, yeah.
Oh yeah, I can. It's the first time I'm having a call on Discord Mobile.
Oh, cool.
I would have used my laptop, but I'm an idiot who forgot the charger at home.
Oh well. Rip.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to mute you. Not you, the stream.
No problem. Cool. Yeah. So so he's the creator of that show. I don't know how well it's doing. If you guys like it, let me know. But he tweeted this, and this was kind of floating around a lot. Said, "This looks terrible. Cartoon Network, don't do it. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Stop this project that's already been in production for 6 months. Put 60+ talented people out of work, all because you don't like the promotional image. Fair point. For the record, I was a kid when the original Thundercats was on, and I hated it. This is something you reboot and make better, which I think the new crew will do just fine." So that's kind of it's a little iffy. I mean, apparently the 2011 series was that show where they rebooted it and made it a lot better. I heard it got canned a lot by Cartoon Network, and I think that's where a lot of this salt kind of comes from, is because, you know, they kind of canceled that because no one was watching it. To be fair, I mean, the network, you know, was putting out all this money for it, and no one's watching it. But I also hear they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and it was sort of almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy where they were kind of not promoting it as much as they should have and all that good stuff. And we can get back into the kind of implications of that in a second.
We could get into a lot of history about the 2011 reboot.
Yeah.
Which is relevant, but might not be what we should be talking about. We're talking about the current reboot, not the old one.
Yeah, I mean, it all ties in together as far as why people are reacting the way that they have been. I think the 2011 reboot is actually a big factor because it's similar to the whole Teen Titans Go syndrome, where Teen Titans, the original, never really got a solid finale, a solid finish, and then like years later, here comes Teen Titans Go, this comedy that's episodic, it's like a sitcom, it's wacky, and it wasn't even that the show was necessarily bad or good. It was just that the viewers, in a sense, felt like this is what replaced the show that never even got a proper ending, a proper send-off. And I think that's a lot of what people are feeling with Thundercats as well, is like you had this more deep, intertwined, story-driven show, and I guess some people are they feel like almost betrayed that this show is happening. And it should be noted that that show stopping has nothing to do with this show existing, because
it would years apart.
Right, it's been a long time, and it was either they weren't. The bottom line is they were never going to bring the 2011 remake back for another season. That just wasn't going to happen. So it was either no Thundercats or this, basically. And you could say that you'd rather have no Thundercats or not, but again, that's kind of left up to opinion. But yeah, he goes on to say, I can't believe I have to explain this. Someone read those tweets and for no reason took it as I'm the reboot's showrunner. And the internet believes them instead of just checking my profile, which clearly states my occupation and where/what I work on. I do not work on this show. So yeah, there was a lot of pictures floating around saying, oh, this guy is the showrunner, and he's saying he hated the show, yada yada, and they were using that as ammunition for attacking the show, which if you really did say that.
Actually happened to me.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I'm a huge fan of Infinity Train. If if you'd visit my blog, and a lot of people confuse me for the creator of Infinity Train because I talk about it so much.
That's really weird.
I am not at all.
That's I don't know how you even make that connection.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd rather be associated with Infinity Train than the Thundercats reboot.
Yeah, people associated with Thundercats reboot are definitely having a rough time right now. Yeah, so everyone, so apparently he's getting like death threats and name calling and all that stuff.
According to them, it's a good show, so maybe they don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, this guy works on Star. So I mean, he's he seems like he'd probably be talented if he was working on Star. So yeah, he's not the creator. So for everyone that says like, oh, this guy's floating around, yada yada, he's not the creator. He's not in any way involved with the show whatsoever.
He clearly lacks the man bun to be the creator of the reboot.
Yeah, he's
glorious man bun.
See, no ponytail on his avatar, guys. Come on now. Yeah, so he's.
I gotta applaud his style. He definitely. He's not afraid to show it. Reminds me of Rebecca Sugar in some way, with her like frizzly, short, undercut hair. Not standard.
Well, here's a real pic of him. I think Rebecca Sugar's more curly and luscious.
Yeah, but she's stylish and unusual.
Yeah.
I guess in a sense all creatives are.
It's what? I didn't catch that. What did you say?
Yeah, my internet is not very good, and I'm pretty far away, so I might get cut out a bit.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, so he's not involved. So everyone.
Hello?
Yes. I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay quiet for the most part until I have something to say. So communication is smoother.
Okay, yeah. Feel free to chime in.
Oh, don't worry, I won't. I turned off the live stream because I couldn't figure out how to mute it on my phone, so I can only hear you right now. I can't see the chat or the stream itself.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, basically people are using that as ammunition. It's not real. So that settles that part. So let's get into like the whole reaction of this thing and what it means. So a lot of people are saying that this is a CalArts style, and it's actually become a bit of a meme. People started doing their own remakes of the Thundercats Roar promotional image. So we've got Akira here, Gargoyles Fly, which is undoubtedly what it would have been called. We got Evangelion, which is pretty great. What is this? I can't even tell what that is. But yeah, they've just got a bunch of different remakes and stuff like that, and it's pretty great. There's more I'm sure we'll find. Nice. Yeah, I'm sure we'll find more as we scroll down here.
Thundercats Roar does, it does have the same naming convention as Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. So they're definitely cashing in on that. Yeah, it's like I think that's adding to the hate because it's so similar in concept, the name. So I think that's definitely where a lot of the hate's coming from.
Surprised that Powerpuff Girls didn't do the same thing.
Powerpuff
I
Girls.
guess they don't have an iconic verb. The Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, Powerpuff Girls fly. Nah, I guess it wouldn't be fly. I don't even know what it would be. Yeah, I mean, and they're also making She-Ra, which this looks a little more, I think, up people's alley, like, as far as people who hate this type of thing. Yeah, Trash Geekdom says it's trash. Okay, so here's the thing. So a lot of people are bringing up the CalArts style. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people are bringing up the argument that this show looks like every other show on Cartoon Network and just animation in general right now. And I understand that argument.
The name is already a misnomer.
Yes, yeah, it is.
It's not really the CalArts style.
Yes.
Because, the show that probably is accused the most of having the CalArts style, besides the new reboot, is Steven Universe. And Rebecca Studio didn't even study in CalArts.
No, she did not.
So, already a major exception to the name.
Yeah.
But there is something to the idea that a lot of shows have the same skeletons in their styles, but it's actually been like that for a very long time in animation.
Yes.
Since the beginning, there is usually a shape that is very common in animation. It's just that modern shows, I guess, either aren't as good at hiding it, or the existence of the internet is much better, at exposing it than in past eras.
Yes, and I think here's the thing: if you don't like this art style, like, that's totally valid. I'm not gonna get on you for not liking this art style. Personally, I like it in theory. Does it feel like a downgrade compared to the other two? In a sense, it does. But as a standalone, is it good? I think it looks pretty good. But this whole argument that there's a CalArts style, first off, again, like you said, there's not. These aren't even all from CalArts. But basically, the CalArts style is typically kind of defined as a bean face, like this,
And a mouth.
and a sausage mouth.
And a bean mouth.
Yeah, it's like a long bean or a sausage. I've seen a lot of people refer to it as a sausage. So a bean and a sausage, essentially, is the CalArts style. And there have been a lot of memes for that. There's another one. A lot of people have been talking about the CalArts style. And then, like, if you look at shows like this. It doesn't look like they even have that. I can't click on this. But the new Disney shows don't seem like they have that to the same extent. Similar mouths here as well. But if we let's see, I think I can go to CalArts style, like Google Princess Lappy. Yeah, a lot of sarcasm, like, oh, there's all primary colors, parallel lines. Like, there's a lot of little nitty-gritty nitpicks that people will bring up for the whole CalArts style thing. Look, guys, here's the reality is that since for every age of animation has had its own style, like you mentioned, they've all had some similar style. Now, you could argue that's a bad thing. You could argue that it's kind of annoying that in every era there's a similar style. And I could agree with you. Yeah, I could kind of agree with you. I didn't call you Princess Lappy. Someone else called you Princess. I was reading someone else's comment. Get out of here. But, yeah, you can make that argument that it's kind of annoying that, certain eras all have their unique, it's like specific style. But even then, I kind of understand where people are coming from the whole CalArts style, because I would argue that the 90s and 2000s had a little more variety than now. But at the end of the day, yes, the art styles are similar, but if we go to all these shows, just these 4 shows, they all feel and act and behave completely differently. The tone of Gravity Falls isn't quite the same as Star, and Star isn't quite the same as Steven, and Steven is... None of those shows are even close to the same as a Gumball. So, like, at the end of the day, yes, is the frustration of similar art styles for a certain era of shows annoying? Yes, that you could argue that's annoying. I think you're getting some distortion there, Charles. I'm not sure what's going on. You could argue that's annoying, but I feel like it's nothing new. It's not something that's new to start complaining about all of a sudden. Now that Thundercats Roar is a thing, it's like, oh, let's bring this thing back again. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Rebecca did not go to CalArts TK.
Looking for a specific post on Tumblr that I remember that covered this topic very well, but I can't find it.
Yeah, and there have been a lot of examples. Let's see if I can find any of these here of similar art styles being used throughout the ages. Okay, here's an interesting tweet too. Not every new version of your favorite thing from childhood has to be super serious. There are 1,700 different variations of Batman, and they're all great in their own way. Comedy rules. Here's my thing about the comedy argument, is that I'm cool with comedy. I'm cool. Look, Teen Titans Go gets a lot of flack. I've given it flack in the past. Is it as bad as people say? No. Does it have issues? Yes. Can it get a little bit obnoxious? Yes. Can it get a little bit pandery to today's generation? Yes. Is it as bad as people say it is? Probably not. I understand the context of the original Teen Titans and it being taken away from them, but I'm more well known than MYKAL now. Wow. Yeah, you're famous, Lappy. Yes, I get that whole thing, but it's not that it's bad. It's just it replaced Teen Titans. Sonic Boom I've heard is very good. Lego Batman I've heard is very good. Like there's nothing wrong with comedy.
Thundercats Go. Thundercats Roar, not
Thundercats Go.
Roar doesn't really replace anything.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like Teen Titans that was that ended like less than a decade before Go came out.
Right.
The 80s Thundercats ended nearly 3 decades ago.
Yes.
So,
and then 2011 was like only 7. Yeah, like so.
Yeah, I mean, the 2011 one was cancelled long before this season was even like conceived by anyone.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, from people's perspective, they could perceive it that way.
I don't think the argument that this show like took the place of the original or a better Thundercats show is I think valid. I think if you're gonna criticize it, you should probably criticize it on its own or in comparison to the original, but not as a replacement to the original.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like the whole comedy thing, a lot of people are mad it's a comedy, and I'm not mad that it's a comedy. I just feel like it raises the bigger Thundercats Roar has raised the bigger problem within Western animation, and that is that studios and not even just kids animation, also adult animation, studios and networks don't really give action animation a chance anymore, and that does suck because it kind of enforces that when you had Teen Titans, which was a very diverse and lots of different tones in the show. It was an action show, and then you had Thundercats, which was an action show twice. And like when you put shows like that and you make them these goofy, funny, silly, zany comedies, I understand why people feel a little disheartened, because it's almost as if the networks aren't even trying. They're not even trying. Like, look, I understand it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day. They need to make money. The bottom line is money, because if there's no money, then they can't make anything. They can't make anything. We don't get cartoons. So you guys have to understand, like, when networks do stuff for money, it's important. However, I feel like there also needs to be some risks involved, because you need to be prepared for the next trends that happen, or maybe revolutionize the industry in an interesting way. And I feel like they're not giving a solid chance to more drama-filled action shows. They're all
Fortune favors the bold.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like everything, any like huge cartoon or anime or movie or book or music artist that you really remember, they always pushed the boundaries. They always went above and beyond. And when you have shows that are comedies or like shows like even like that are Gravity Falls and Star vs. Forces of Evil or even a little bit Steven Universe that are, you know, they have a lot of drama and lore and story, and they're amazing shows. They're brilliant, amazing shows. Some of my all-time favorite shows. Nothing wrong with the shows themselves, but even they by the network. If you guys didn't know, like Steven Universe is considered a comedy by the network. It's in the comedy section, not the action section. So even like, and you could see that with the Beach City episodes, even with Star, with the more, you know, lackadaisy school episodes or the Ponyhead episodes. You know, Gravity Falls with just the one-off episodes. And again, there's nothing wrong with that at all. But it's like, it's as if networks aren't allowing creators, or creators aren't even trying to push the boundaries and do something that's more serialized and story-driven. I get why they do that, because kids want to just come in and watch something episodic. Generally, that's what sells.
I mean, in 2019, we're getting Thundercats Roar, but we're also getting Infinitrade. We're also getting Summer Cap Island. We're also getting there's probably some other show that's getting renewed at CN. And over at Disney, we're getting Owl House and Amphibia, which seem to be more adventure or action-oriented shows. And, you know, you don't have to take the good and the bad. I don't really believe that you should, like, let things go just because better things exist out there. But, like, you shouldn't condemn the entire state of the industry over one show.
Right. And it just, this show, I think, just shows that networks aren't really trying. It's not that the show itself I think is going to be bad. I think the show is probably going to be very good. I think the intro looks really good. It looks like the team really loves it. It looks like the team really does care about the original Thundercats. They're just kind of taking a new spin on it. So I'm totally like on board with the show itself. But it does kind of bum me out as someone who as someone who is aspiring to be a show creator, as a show writer for animation. I feel limited because I feel like I have to write a goofy comedy, otherwise no one's gonna pick up anything. And you could argue like, oh well, there's Voltron, but Voltron's it's already based off of a known property, so it's not like it's some new guy who came up with this new idea that the network took a chance on. Like, it's already established. And B, it's not so hugely popular that it's like making enough waves to like revolutionize and shake it up.
Speaking of wanting to be a show creator, which by the way I share the same aspiration, it is relevant to what I want to discuss, which we can discuss now or later if you want.
Yeah,
but
go for it.
Basically, it's something that you can see in the response that the animation industry people had to the backlash is a lot of them essentially said that people who criticize or comment on the animation industry right now, they essentially get like preemptively blocked from the industry. Like, it's not just one or two occasions, but I've seen several occasions of people from the industry saying that criticizing this show is gonna get you blocked.
I've only seen it for people who are really been disrespectful. I haven't seen it for people who, because here's the thing, this show, like it's not above genuine critiques. I think the show, like I said, if you have like Thundercats 2011 compared to this back to back, you look at the art style, it does feel like a downgrade in theory. I understand why people are upset, and I think you have the right to criticize the overall direction.
You can find several animation mistakes in the new intro. I mean, less so in the intro, more so in the announcement trailer thing.
Sure.
With Lino posing with his sword and talking about himself and that. You can find several animation errors, which is, I think, a genuine criticism, but it's not really a criticism of the show as much as the presentation of this announcement trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can...
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I think... Well, I mean, yeah, that's... I didn't personally pick up on any of that. If there was there, it may have been, may not have been, but I think you can criticize something as long as it's if it's fair and respectful. Because like I've never seen like people that are in the animation industry say like, oh, you can't criticize our shows. I've only ever seen them be like, yo, don't be a bad person. Like, don't, like, for example, this right here, this kind of curses, but basically most employers, from myself to comic animation companies, look through Twitter to make sure the person we hire doesn't turn out to be a deflated pool float of a person. This is largely why talent's cool, but being a nice person isn't just good, it's essential for creative work. So basically what they're saying is, you can criticize stuff, but don't start bashing people. Don't start like completely, crapping on their work, disrespecting them, calling them names, like just being overall rude. Getting communication skills usually mean you won't start infighting in a studio. You don't take your animation. You can take your animation director's advice. You don't have the emotional range of a noodle. So basically, what they're saying is like, and that's really the issue, is because I see why people are upset about Thundercats Roar. I also understand where the people are coming from who are not upset and think it's silly. I think there's genuinely valid points on both sides. I think it's just a way that the people who hate the show just so unabashedly, unforgivingly, completely destroy and tear it apart to the point where they're nitpicking and saying things like, oh, it's CalArts style and stuff like that, and just writing off the show as garbage even though you've never seen the show. Like, I would never sit here and say, wow, that's a terrible show if I've never seen it. I would say that that doesn't look for me, or it doesn't look, I don't think that looks good, but we'll see, like, or something along those lines. Or vice versa.
You can judge a show you haven't seen.
Exactly.
But with what you have seen, I think you should be free to judge it.
Exactly.
As what it is, which is, a first impression. And the first impression is important. I mean, if your show is great, but you made a negative first impression, like, 40,000 dislikes worth of bad impression, then, I think it's fair that people criticize it, even if the criticism, as long as they don't, extend it over the show itself, which they haven't seen.
Yeah, exactly. I think that everyone has the right to criticize it, especially first impressions, like you said, is very important. And I think you do have the right to criticize it, but don't be extremely rude about it. Don't be completely unforgiving.
Yeah.
At least be someone open to it potentially being good. You could just say, this does not look good. I'm kind of upset about this, but I'll give it a shot. And you might really like it. Like,
conduct is more important than content in most situations, I feel. The way you behave is more important than what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
In most situations, at least.
Yeah. Because there are valid criticisms, but people keep bringing up the CalArts style thing, and that is not a valid criticism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you have a problem with...
criticize the art style, itself. Don't just put a label on it and say it's bad because
it's CalArts.
Like, if I took an anime and said, oh, it's got the anime style.
Yeah.
So it's bad because it has the anime style.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's not a valid criticism.
Exactly. Now, is this the personal route I would have gone with a Thundercats reboot, even as someone who doesn't watch Thundercats? Like, art style-wise, probably not. But does that mean it's going to be a bad show? No. Does it mean it's a bad art style? No. It's just not what I would personally do for Thundercats specifically. I like the art style. As a standalone.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, you're not a fan. That's totally fair. Like, I'm not a fan as, like, for a Thundercats show, but I like it as a show, if that makes sense. Like, standalone.
I understand the distinction.
Yeah. So
Anyway, did you see the post that I linked to you?
I did not check it out.
The skull shaped for...
I brought that up.
Animation.
Yeah, I brought that up. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the whole animation of the CalArts style.
Yeah.
All anime characters. And that's another thing. That's the anime thing. Like,
the comment is more important in this case.
Yeah, hold on. Let me go to there in a second. Hold on. Let me So, like, a lot of people that are hating on Thundercats Roar, I'm sure a lot of them like anime. And a lot of the people bringing up the CalArts style as something that's really terrible is like, well, you watch anime, so like there's an anime style like for like almost all anime. Obviously some of them are more distinct, like, you know, One Piece. You'll usually be able to tell when Toriyama's doing a show for like Dragon Ball and stuff like that, but let's not act like anime doesn't mostly look the same, or is at least in the same vein. But they don't all behave the same. They all have different genres and moods. And I will say that on the East, you know, Eastern animation for anime is generally more diverse genre-wise. At the very least, they do have that much. So that, you know, you have comedies, you have rom-coms, slice of life, action. You have chibi comedies. You've got you know, more supernatural stuff, detective anime. Like, you have a bunch of different. Yeah, like Shonen, Shoujo. Like, you have a bunch of different options. Whereas Western animation, it's comedy. Here's some comedy for you. Oh, cartoon, it's a comedy. So I will say that much. But
yeah, I mean, Western animation is like crass or cute, basically. Like, it is a kiddie comedy that is nice, or it's a adult comedy, or sometimes kids comedy that is like crass and has like gross out humors and raunchy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, even some of the greatest adult shows, like Rick and Morty, one of my favorites, it still got a lot of raunchy humor, which is a shame that, you know, you can't get a show that has an exploration of themes and worlds and stuff like Rick and Morty, but you know, doesn't have the trademark adult humor that almost every other show has.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with adult humor, just like change up the tone a little bit. You know what I mean? And Rick and Morty is one of my all-time favorite shows. It's more so as the animation industry as a whole not taking enough risk on non-comedies. To me, but again, that's not to say that Thundercats Roar is bad. All right, so let's go back to that Tumblr post. Yeah, so yeah, basically my thing is the argument that, oh, CalArts style is bad doesn't really add up if you watch anime. Yeah, look at this chats here. Lappy wants to replace Hailey. Lappy, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. Maybe one day. Maybe one day if Lappy gets completely destroyed by school entirely, you can take the reins. Lappy is my favorite sub. Lappy, you know, Lappy's a gem. No pun intended. All right, so yet the end products here are all unmistakably distinct. Yes, like I mentioned before, from one another, and all rendered in a different style. If anything, to me, this GIF just shows how much you can get out of so little. Shocking. Cartoon characters are traditionally built from simple shapes and appeal and ease of animation. But this tried-and-true method of character design is really quite versatile. So you get Elmer Fudd. So this is all sort of has a bean-ish shape. So you got Elmer Fudd, Mickey Mouse. Huh? Oh boy. This is that. I can't even tell what that is. Popeye, Tweety Bird, and Tom and Jerry all have that similar bean shape style. Yes, you could argue it's more exaggerated in today's cartoons, but it's there. It's been there for obviously quite a while.
Which is the one you couldn't recognize?
The white one, the third one next to Mickey Mouse.
That's Casper.
Is that Casper?
Friendly ghost, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was, but then it like had like a dog nose, and I don't remember Casper looking like that. But that might just be me not knowing. Casper.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Casper, but with a dog nose. Like, I don't know. It looks like Casper.
It does look like Casper, but I don't think it is. Do you guys know anyone in the chat know who that is? Because I'm not sure. Casper the ghost dog nose. Okay, we got KK Slider. All right, that's not quite. It's not quite it.
Yeah.
That's Casper's cousin. Is that true? One of Casper's relatives. Okay. I got two people saying it's one of Casper's relatives.
Well,
Why'd they
weird
choose Casper's
example,
relative? What's that?
Yeah, why didn't choose Casper himself?
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge them, especially since I'm pretty sure this blog is already deleted or changed to the URL.
Yeah,
So
well,
there's really no point.
yeah, at the very least, Casper has the same style. Boom. I guess the only difference is the mouth thing. Because they all have different types of mouths for the most part. But still, it's still the bean face. So yeah, the CalArts style argument is not. It's just not. The elephant.
I mean, one of the most important stuff, the most important things in an animated character isn't the shape of their skull, but rather everything around it. It's silhouette.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
It doesn't really matter if Tom's and Jerry's skulls look similar, as long as the outer shape of their heads is distinct. Now, I don't really know how much distinct silhouettes there are in Thundercats Go, but in the GIF above, there are very distinct silhouettes to every single character in the CalArts example. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Steven doesn't look anything like Star, doesn't look anything like Dipper. The silhouettes look distinct.
Yeah, so here's the silhouettes here for the people watching. So obviously you can tell who each of those characters are, despite them having similar bean-shaped faces, except for I guess Sans, but the sausage mouths. You can tell who's who.
Pretty sure Sans is a joke.
Yeah, I don't know if it is. It probably is, but because I've actually seen Sans used in these arguments before, so it might actually be real. So but regardless,
Sans stands for Steven after not surviving. And
yeah. Regardless, I guess you're not gonna see me cover it, but regardless, I'll just do it for myself. You can tell who all these characters are. If you can't tell, then you probably just don't watch cartoons. Pretty straightforward. Really Rex. Yeah, Sans for Smash. I'd actually be down for Sans for Smash. Legit. And actually on Twitter, I don't know if you guys saw, Felix CalArts Heart is actually doing CalArts style commissions on Twitter. So you want to check that out? I think that's really funny and brilliant. So you should definitely go for that if you're interested. They never told me to do this. I just thought it was really funny. They do that with Dragon Ball, that Japanese anime. That rule, case closed. Wait, what about case closed? I'm not sure what you mean. He'll have a very bad time. Crinkly Wrinkly for Smash, yes, please. Absolutely. Yeah, so yeah, the CalArts style doesn't... The basic verdict for CalArts style is it's not really a thing. It doesn't even really originate in CalArts. And at the end of the day, guys, like, look, here's the thing. Caveman had the same style. Not the CalArts style, but they all drew the same, all across, like all over. Basically all over the world. Like this is how they painted. It all looks like the same style. Like, so this is no one's getting on the Caveman for all drawing the same, guys. So at the end of the day, like this is primal. This goes back to like the beginning of humanity, essentially. It's always a different style. And yeah, again, does that mean it's a good thing? Does that mean it's okay? Not necessarily. It would be nice to see more of a change, some more unique art styles. But
I mean, we probably shouldn't compare ourselves to cavemen with our artistic integrity.
Can you back from the mic? I can't hear you. It's kind of distorted.
Never mind, it's a joke.
Okay, I can't understand. It's too close. I can understand. Yeah, so like it's again, it just kind of goes back to like human history. So it's just this is not new. This is basically it's not new. Is it bad? Is it good? You could argue either way.
Renaissance paintings all look very similar.
Yeah, Renaissance paintings. Yep. Let's look at Renaissance painting. God. Renaissance paintings. Well, duh. You say well, duh, but a lot of people are like acting like this is a new thing. So like these all look basically the same. But the thing is, they all portray different types of emotions and scenery. And again, you could argue it'd be nicer for people to be more creative, but you know, this is how it is. You could definitely make that argument, and music's the same way, unfortunately. And I'm definitely a stickler for music. I am super critical, hypercritical of music, especially like top 40 stuff. But you know, every era has a certain type of sound. It kind of sucks. It gets annoying when you're living in the era because it's like, man, I'm really sick of trap beats. Could someone make a different kind of beat, please? It's not that hard to not make a trap beat. And obviously trap beats are a lot easier to make than any type of painting. But I'm just saying it's the same principle. It's just
Progress
like...
is slow. It
was that?
takes time for new things to evolve.
Exactly. So it could be annoying when you're living in it and you get tired of it. Absolutely. And that's valid. That's totally valid. I was sick of like EDM music on the radio constantly. It was like this is all people are making. Even people who don't make EDM music are singing EDM songs. It's like, can we make a new type of song?
I mean, speaking of Thundercats, the original Thundercats looked very similar to He-Man, which looked very similar to Transformers, which looked very similar to G.I. Joe and lots of other shows.
Yep. So yeah, if we look at 80s cartoons, like, let's see, I can't find any good pictures right now. I saw a lot on Twitter though. This is not a good example. Let's see. He-Man looks like it could be Thundercats, like easy. And that's the thing, is like if you're gonna bring up that argument, then you would have to bring that argument up for the original Thundercats also, because Thundercats looks like He-Man.
Netflix actually made they're making right now a She-Ra reboot. She-Ra was originally
I mentioned that, yeah. And that looks interesting.
And, I mean, yeah, for a second I thought it would connect to the Netflix show, because I forgot that He-Man wasn't on Thundercats. They're two different shows.
Yeah, He-Man is not Thundercats.
You know, about sword-wielding warriors on a distant land.
Exactly. And it looks interesting. I mean, we don't know what the face looks like yet or whatever. This is the new Netflix She-Ra. But I'm intrigued. I never watched the original,
I did see some screenshot, which I think is from the new She-Ra show. It looks a bit weird. I don't think they meant to use that particular frame as a promotion, because it looks kind of funny.
Do you want to send a link?
Hold on, see if I can find it.
But Ugly Martians was dope. Oh my god. Yeah, let's bring back the But Ugly Martians style, guys. What are we doing? Can we please bring back But Ugly Martians? Like, why are we not talking about this?
Let's bring back Shaolin Warriors, but let's do it good this time.
See, I like Challenge Showdown. Yes, let's bring this guy back, guys. Let's bring this back. This is See, why can't we have more good early 2000s content like this in animation now? Yeah, they tried, man.
Yeah, this is Shaolin universe now.
Shaolin.
Okay,
Oh, that
I
was
found the picture.
She-Ra. Okay, so something your friend drew. So is this? What is this picture?
It's supposedly from the She-Ra reboot being done
Gotcha.
by DreamWorks over at Netflix.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure if it is, but that's apparently a frame for it. That's what at least, Google Images showed me.
Gotcha.
Looks a bit
So,
silly.
I mean, I like it. I like the style. I can
like
tell, I
the
can tell what
line
they're
work.
going with.
I like the style. I don't like the weird position of the leg. It's a very awkward frame.
Well, yeah.
do.
She's clearly mid
But the style itself
action.
is fine.
Yeah. No, she's
But-
clearly mid action.
But you said she was totally nude.
Totally nude.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you too. What did you say about the pic?
Did you say she was totally nude?
Yeah. She's actually significantly less nude than the original She-Ra.
Oh yeah.
Who had like a very, she had big badunkas and a lot of cleavage. She's appeared to be a younger, more modest, I guess, She-Ra.
Gotcha.
Also, the title is changed from She-Ra, the Princess of Power, to She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. So there are gonna be more than one of them.
That's pretty cool.
More princesses is always better.
That's pretty dope.
By the way, I sent you a pic of something my friend drew. My friend Lizzie, Snowflake Owl on Tumblr. If you want to check her out, she drew a CalArts version of Lino in her own style, a bit of a redesign.
Let me see.
Just about the She-Ra pic.
See, I like that style. I think I like this a little more than the actual Thundercats Roar.
I mean, he looks more like a very confident child rather than
Right.
a goofy-looking adult in the actual show.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, but we probably wouldn't know the decision into Lino's current design in Thundercat and why they went with what they went with. Could be that they considered something like this, but decided against it for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Maybe their current design works better with the show that they made. And
Right.
This design wouldn't work as well with the show that exists. But from purely aesthetic consideration, I think I like this one better. And not just because I'm friends with the artist.
Yeah, so these are the three Chitaras all back to back.
Yeah. What?
No, I'm just showing the Chitaras on stream.
I can't hear what you're saying. I mean, I can hear you, but I don't really know what you're saying. Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, I'm showing the three Chitaras on stream.
Alright, let me look.
It's probably gone now. Seinfeld. Oh my god. Seinfeld. Nothing. That's great. The X peeps.
Some good whole.
Now we're just memeing.
I gotta say, the memes are the best part.
It is great.
The new
Oh my
Thundercats.
god. Cowboy Bebop
Like-
Soar. That's so
The
good.
XP.
That's so good. Oh, this is JoJo. That's too funny. That's really funny. Is this a Thundercat?
We're doing one for Steven Universe, the app, or redundant.
What's that? Discord's being dumb again, guys. I apologize. Go the original Thundercats and love the 2011 version. I don't know what to think of this one. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's a departure. I would understand if you're Thundercats. Like, look, if they did, I'm a huge Avatar fan. If they did Avatar and made it look like that, I would definitely be skeptical. I would 100% be skeptical and probably not very happy. Granted, I don't want Avatar to come back. I don't think it should, because I think it ended perfectly. Unless it's a new Avatar and it's in the same canon.
Yeah.
But I don't want Avatar to be rebooted. What's up?
My same friend Lizzie and I are working on a joke Avatar series about the Avatar after Korra. But
That
we're doing
sounds
it
cool.
in a but we're doing it in a jokey style.
See, that sounds fun.
It was originally supposed to be an April Fool's joke, but we ended up doing that by April Fool's, and now we're trying to do it as sort of a parody of Thundercats Roar that we started working on long before the announcement.
That's funny.
Basically, it's a hipster Avatar in a style of the CalArts style, quote unquote, as a joke.
Yeah, that seems funny as like a parody type thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny. Oh man, yeah, that cloud. Every adult upset about Thundercats Roar. I mean, it would have been. I don't really know too much about the Thundercats lore, if you will. Buffy
I mean,
Slay.
the Thundercats are refugees
Yeah,
from their
Jesus.
planet, and they have to survive their new planet. And
Gotcha.
Lionel's sword returns to him, like Thor's hammer. And that's pretty much all I know.
Gotcha. These are great. These memes are great. I haven't even seen most of these. That's so good. I mean, even the Superhero Girls show, like, obviously this is for a younger audience, but it's like we can't even get a real action superhero show anymore, really. You're welcome bringing the views. Thank you, Lappy. Thank you, Lappy. I know you're putting in work right now. I appreciate that. As you do. Like the Thundercats comics outside of a select few. I never read the comics either. I would like to read more comics than I do. But it's just so much to get into. What gets to me is not that shows like Thundercats Roar or Teen Titans Go exist. It's fine. Go ahead. I actually like Teen Titans Go. Oh, that's a controversial opinion. But what does get to me is that the great quality shows like Thundercats 2011, Teen Titans, or Young Justice get canceled before getting a proper ending because they don't sell toys. Yeah, that really does suck. And it's like the networks don't really push it enough either. It's not even just that it doesn't sell, but I feel like they believe it won't sell so hard that they don't even try to sell it. So it just doesn't really work out. And it is a shame that great shows like that get canned. Korra is a good example. I know, because they pushed it online and just they weren't promoting it anymore, and it was just like, oh, that kind of sucks. So we're probably never going to get another Avatar, at least no time soon, which is a shame because there's a lot, because like the world of Avatar is so fleshed out and cool. Like you could
by the
easily
way,
do another one.
A bit of a promo that not a sponsor, I'm not related to them, but the head writer of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aaron Hiaz, is working on a show for Netflix and a video game
Yes.
with his studio Wonderstorm. So if you're a fan of Avatar, especially the original show, then you should, check it out, support them.
Yeah.
They're also looking for people, so if you have a talent, then check out their job listings.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, hopefully that's. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good. It's Avatar. Like, same people with Avatar is gonna be good. So that's really dope. So hopefully that really blows up and kind of gives other types of cartoons a chance. Why does Cartoon Network even try selling toys? Well, that's really where a lot of the money is, especially nowadays, because people aren't watching TV as much. You really have to sell the merch, which is why you see people like Logan Paul always pushing their merch, because that's really where you're gonna make a lot of money. That's why Pokemon was so huge, because it was market. Pokemon conceptually is just marketing genius, because it's just the entire concept lends itself to buying things, to collect things. So that's why stuff like that always does well.
They made the act of collecting, not just dressing around the content, but the content itself.
Yeah, which is genius. Kids like superpowers. Kids like animals, and you just put them together. Superpower and animals that you collect. Boom, done.
They love animals. They love violence, or cartoon violence at least.
Yeah.
And they love fantasy. They love adventure. They love stories. But, usually very simplistic stories.
Yeah.
Beat the bad guys, become the best. It's good.
For sure. Help me sell Lappy merch. I'm sure that'll sell really well. Do we use a Sapphire pick for that Lappy now? Since you're basically a Sapphire. And you guys check out the Man of Action Mega Man animated series. I think Cartoon Network is coming up. Yes, I am not a fan of the art style. Let's see, I actually totally forgot about that show. Cartoon Network.
Yeah, the same.
Yeah, I forgot this was happening. I don't like the way it looks. It looks very kiddish. This one looks really awkward to me. Brandon says, I don't even know. It's coming out this year, apparently. Yeah, I'm not personally a fan. If it's good, it's good. The same thing. It's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. I don't like the way he looks compared to other Mega Man designs, but the design isn't necessarily everything.
Yeah. It's not the worst Mega Man design. The worst Mega Man design is the box art for the original game in the West.
Of course. Box art. Yeah, this is the worst Mega Man. Mostly because he looks nothing like Mega Man as we know him. And they put him in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, which is pretty funny. Who's seen the Looney Tunes? I have not seen the new Looney Tunes. I heard it's pretty good. Obviously, it's hard to top the original Looney Tunes because it was just classic and just so revolutionary. So I don't think that's even really a fair comparison, but
Looney Tunes isn't really a remake. It's like Looney Tunes has continued to make new shows constantly since the 40s. So
well, they've had little hiatuses here and there, I think, where there's no new series. They're basically kind of separated into different series, sort of, but they're all they've kept going, basically for the most part, on and on and on. Yeah. I mean, there's just a ton. There's a ton. And then YouTube's back in action. That counts. Got a new Space Jam movie coming out. It's gonna be hype.
There is?
Yeah, Space Jam 2. Let's see, Space Jam. Do your dance.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's like Scooby-Doo. There's a new version of Scooby-Doo, and it's got a significantly different art style from the various versions. But
Right.
It's not really a reboot as much as it's just another Scooby-Doo show of many.
Yeah, I mean that still technically constitutes a reboot. I don't know if time really is a factor for reboots. It's a new series, so it's technically a reboot per se. Because I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2 between the MCU Spider-Man, it wasn't that much time. So it's still a reboot. It's still like arguably a different like universe, so to speak. What's the new Scooby-Doo called? I forget. Whereas like some of them were follow-ups though, like I think What's New Scooby-Doo was like in the same canon as like a different one, but I don't remember which one.
That's called a soft reboot.
Yeah, that's like a soft reboot / a sequel series, if you will. Space School is cool but creepy. Why is it creepy? Daphne
What's creepy?
Someone said Space Jam's creepy. Wait, is this a real thing?
I mean, it did have a sexy bunny, which is kind of weird.
Wait, Daphne
it's
and...
not really creepy.
Yeah, it's not really creepy, it's just kind of fetishy. Is this Daphne and Velma movie a thing? Hello? We're gonna watch this.
Are you reading an article or...
It's a trailer.
It's the Logan.
It's a trailer. Is this real?
A Daphne and Velma movie?
It's on 2 officially verified accounts, this trailer.
What's the point of a movie with only some of the...
It's apparently a
some
prequel.
Scooby gang?
It's apparently a prequel.
He's fine. Something weird is happening to the top students here. Kids turn to lifeless zombies.
What?
Secret passages.
I think this is real.
Hello?
It doesn't seem like a parody. There's nothing super parody-y about it. And they're 2 verified accounts.
No, it looks real.
And it's officially Warner Brothers from the last description. She looks like Selena Gomez.
We need to bust into that locker. Or
Friggin' Star-Lord.
something that won't lead to certain danger. Just
It,
an idea.
you know, it just kind of seems pointless.
This robot engine is totally
Like,
stable.
It's just really random. Unless they're
if
trying
you
to...
put
Kitchen duty and Shane stickers. Guaranteed to stop girls from blowing things up.
They might be trying to, like, do a Scooby-Doo cinematic universe.
We're a team. We can do this.
We can do
I mean,
anything.
if you're gonna do a movie with Daphne, like young Daphne and young Velma, why are you not just putting, you know, Fred and Shaggy and Scooby in it? Even if you're not focusing on them, even if, you know, it's a girl power movie with Velma and Daphne as the main characters, why not put the rest of the gang as like their, you know, the supporting cast?
Chain keys.
I mean, I guess they're trying to do something different with a familiar property, I suppose. And maybe they'll give other characters their own... Oh, it's going in Blu-ray right away, I guess. It's a straight to DVD and Blu-ray movie. That's crazy.
Not like Thundercats Roar, which is the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah, apparently. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Is this the same? Is this the same canon as the other movies? Live action movies, film series?
Gun movies?
Consists of 5 live action comedy films based on Hanna-Barbera, blah blah blah.
James Gunn moved to greener pastures, so he's probably not coming back to do Scooby-Doo live action movies.
Okay, so they did a TV movie, prequel movie. I don't know how we just dived into the whole Scooby-Doo thing. They did a prequel movie with Shaggy and Scooby, and I guess now, what, like Curse of the Lake Monster? I never saw that one. How many? What? There's so many of these. That's crazy. I'm fired. Why am I fired? Why am I fired,
Did
Lappy?
you see the Alex Hirsch tweet about the CalArts style?
I don't think I did. I may have. I see a lot of tweets. I'll check it out. Yeah, guys, we're doing Scooby-Doo theories now. Favorite actor for Spider-Man? Tom Holland, hands down. He's the best Spider-Man. No question.
Best Spider-Man is the one from the 90s show.
I mean, like live action.
Uh,
Definitely would say Tom Holland. Out of the three.
The Japanese Spider-Man from the 70s.
Oh my god. Let's see. Twitter is my favorite place to complain about Twitter. Alex Hurst has some fire tweets, I gotta say. He's got some of the best tweets. Let's see. Alright, it's definitely after this. 86 Peach, blah blah. Everything matters, nothing matters. Jeez. I don't see it. It's the best anime from Disney. I mean, they have a manga series of Disney princesses and stuff, so. Let's see. Let's see if I can. CalArts. No. Nothing. How about Thundercats? I'm just gonna Google it. Alex Hirsch. Thundercats Roar.
And you mean?
Oh my god. Here's the original secret drawing by CalArts founder. Calgary Cal Ardington. That they were all forced to we were all forced to copy under punishment of death. This is the true CalArts style. Oh my god, look at the Mickey Mouse ears. That's amazing. It had Dexter's hair, Iron Giant, / Tim Burton arms, Powerpuff feet, 101 Dalmatian guy's nose. Oh, that's funny. He doesn't even know his name. Buzz Lightyear's chin, Mickey ears, I don't know, Balto's eyes, and of course the perfect mouth. Staring at this drawing for too long will make you powerful beyond your wildest dreams. What are you doing, Alex? You can't post that. You know they do to divulge anything about our secret. Wow. That's pretty great. That is pretty great. Crazy. Shrek is OG anime character. I agree. Have you seen anime Spider-Man, anime Avengers? I've seen little like clips of them. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy to think about, actually. There's anime Marvel, but there's like Disney anime too, or Disney manga, I should say. There's like an apparent, allegedly, I don't know if this is true or not. There's apparently like an allegedly canon Stitch manga, which has Stitch like basically almost abandoned by Lilo. Like Lilo like grows up, and then Stitch ends up with this other girl in Japan, and it's really depressing. And I hope it's not canon, because otherwise it makes me want to die. To think that Lilo would just abandon this man like this. Like, this is the new girl, apparently. Yo, I'm not a fan of that. I don't want that. Like, that's so sad. Like, let's see, Stitch. Lilo abandons Stitch. Manga. Now we're not even talking about CalArts at this point. We're just like completely diving into whatever crazy wormhole we get into.
I posted I put something, a link on the Discord if you want to see it. A response to the backlash to Thundercats Roar. I actually kind of dislike this response, but I want to see what you think about it.
Cool. Yeah, Lila's just gone. Oh, this is an anime. Wait, what? This is on what? This is real. Okay, let's get back to this. What is this? Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay. A lappy body pillow. Yo, let's do it. Yo, everybody, throw some ones in the chat if you want a lappy body pillow. Throw some ones in there. We should do a donation goal for a Lappy body pillow, I think. Let's see. There are a few reasons why you shouldn't whine every time there's a reboot of something. Let's use the Thundercats as an example. Thundercats doesn't deserve to die. Okay. It's a beloved property that should be, I think I've seen this, should be have a fair attempt at reaching a new generation of kids. Sure. Don't let a misplaced sense of ownership to something that isn't yours in the first place ruin a show for other people. Sure. You like the original? Good. You can always go watch it. A reboot of Thundercats doesn't mean the original never happened. Sure. Think a reboot should be more action-packed and play older. They tried it in 2011. Turns out viewers didn't want it. Yeah, I mean, the only problem... My problem with that argument is that... we got a lot of ones. We got a lot of ones here. Hey, let's get a Lappy donation goal. Lappy body pillow. Everybody donate for Lappy body pillow. Be produced by 2025. Roger's the 101 Dalmatians guy. Good to know. I did not remember his name. Yeah, my problem with the argument that, like, oh, you tried it in 2011 and it didn't work. Like, well, yeah, but A, the network didn't push it enough, apparently. And B, people complaining about it may have actually been one of the people watching that in the first place. So that argument doesn't work for them because they tried. Like, they tried to watch it, but it just wasn't enough. So that doesn't really work there. It wasn't made for you. The tastes of today's kids are different than ours, just like how ours is different than the generation before us. Test yourself by watching the original Thundercats. Sure, but again, it kind of goes back to the whole, networks not really taking risks thing.
Yeah, it's also very subjective,
It's a mix. It depends on what we're talking about. Some of it's subjective. Some of it you could argue is objective with enough backing, I guess. But for the most part, this is subjective for sure. You already know and trust the artists. You trusted them when they helped make shows like OKKO, Motor City, Rick and Morty, etc. They're bringing that passion and expertise with them to Thundercats Roar. Sure, you'd be surprised at how much the network relies on artists' unique voices to make their shows stand out. Just from Thundercats Roar's sick intro, you should know that this show is bringing something to the table. I would mostly agree with that. Again, we'll go through all the points. It's opening doors for the things you love, whether you like it or not. Reboots like Teen Titans Go and Ben 10 are successful, and kids love them. While you don't have to love them too, you should appreciate them. Yeah, you don't have to appreciate them. Like, if you think they're bad, there's no reason to appreciate them. It's because of the success of the shows like these that networks can have the resources to explore new original content. My problem with that argument is that they're not really exploring new original content. They're exploring what they know works. More
reboots.
Yeah, exactly. They're exploring more reboots and styles of shows that they already know works. They're not really exploring. That argument's right in theory, because absolutely you need shows like Teen Titans Go, Ben 10 that sell toys and get to the kids' audience, so you can experiment more. But they're not really experimenting that much.
You could argue that the success of Teen Titans Go led to new stuff like Infinity Train or Apple and Onion and other shows that are original. But absolutely. You could also argue, and I think it's a stronger argument to claim that it led to the Ben 10 reboot and the Powerpuff Girls reboot and Thundercats Roar and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a stronger correlation than what they are claiming. Right.
So the argument's right in theory. Yes, it would give them more opportunities to experiment, but they're not experimenting a lot. They experiment a little bit with Steven Universe, experiment a little bit with Infinity Train, but overall they're not really going above and beyond to do something really new that they've been doing, and that's the part that sucks. Who knows, maybe a network will even end up developing an original show so successful that in 10 years' time, trolls on the internet will hate its reboot. Sure, maybe. If you're an aspiring artist, this isn't a good look for you. Go through your favorite artists' Twitters and Tumblrs and see if they have ever said anything bad about any animated shows. You'll find nothing. Why? It's because this is an industry of cooperation and support for fellow artists. And I would agree with that. If you're an aspiring artist, you can critique something, but be respectful and still be honest, but don't be so brutal and rude and also make bad arguments. Especially if you're like talking to them directly, like, because I have a cartoon channel. I've said negative things about cartoons before, but I try to keep it fair and reasonable when I do, and most of the time it's not me necessarily bashing the show. If it was, I was probably younger. But nowadays, generally, I don't really like to even bash shows because I understand a lot of work, a lot of effort goes into this type of thing. So, you know.
My general problem with this post, you know, beyond the faulty arguments, which, you know, can be argued for and against.
Yeah.
I think it's less about why you should support reboots and more like giving excuses to networks, like Thundercats shouldn't die, so you should support this particular reboot of it, because that's the one that the network chose to make, because they have the rights and they can make whatever they want.
Right.
And again, with the this stuff about how you trusted people when they made other shows, so you should trust them then. But then it's like these people probably weren't passionate about making a new Thundercat show. They were assigned to it. They had, you know, various options for jobs, and they were either chosen for or chose this one. So it's like it's the networks that drive this decision. It's not a passion project, at least not for most people. Maybe the creator said it was his passion, but for most people, I don't think that's the case. I think it's more like the networks are the one who control where the human resources go.
I don't know.
And then again,
I think there's an argument that, I mean, we can't really say for sure whether they are passionate about it, especially since they probably grew up with the original, so they probably are like super like, yo, this is awesome. So I don't think we can really speak on or assume that they are passionate about it or not.
That's the argument that they're making. They are making an argument based on the people that work on it, which is more of an argument for the people that work on it, not on the project that they work on. Like, the project that they work on, the reboot, is you know, usually, no, never mind. I sort of lost my train of thought.
It's all good. I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and the last point especially, it felt kind of, you know, threatening as a sort, like, you know, don't criticize us or you're not gonna end up on the industry. I know that's not what they meant. Like, they wanted to support cooperation even with things that you disagree with, like respecting the artist. And I do respect the artist. However, I feel like the general feeling of this particular post and the arguments that presented in it, which are, you know, fairly common arguments, like, and separately you can argue about the merits of each argument, but like together I feel like they give off a very feeling of conformity, like,
in a sense,
like, upcoming artists, you know, they work on this show, and artists that are already proven are working on this show, and like, if you are mean to these artists, then you're not gonna work on any shows. And it's like, you know, the network feel kind of threatening in a way. That's just the feeling that I got of it, like a feeling of conformity rather than you know, a free flow of ideas and arguments.
Yeah, no, it seems very condescending.
That's my take.
It can come across condescending at times.
A bit. It's not really condescending. It's more like the implied message from these arguments feels kind of, you know, hopeless. Like,
yeah, just deal with it, like kind of thing.
You should be happy for what it is because that's what you've been given, and if you're not, then, you know, or else.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. No, yeah. I think, and I guess that's my main issue with people who are trying to defend the show. It's like, I think the show's, I can understand why you're defending the show. I mostly agree. I don't think it deserves to get bashed and called a terrible show because it's not even out yet. I guess the main thing is like the way they word certain things. It very much seems like how dare you say anything bad about the show? Because I've seen quite a few people give fair, honest, but like respectful and kind, in a kind way, give fair and reasonable, valid critiques of what they've seen so far that aren't nitpicky, that aren't whiny, that aren't rude. Yeah, some people are, I'd even argue maybe even the majority of people are very whiny and rude and like completely biased and not even giving it a chance. But there have been a lot of people who have been giving critiques that I think are fair, and I think that showrunners should listen to those critiques, or at least not listen to them, but take them in and consider them, think about them, and whether they choose to go with them or not, that's obviously up to them. But if they, they might end up getting inspired. They might go a different direction that ends up making the show better. Maybe, who knows? Yeah.
By the way, it's getting pretty late over here.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna go soon.
Okay, go ahead.
So
No problem.
You don't mind if I throw myself a bit before leaving, just give a link to my various channels.
You go for it. Where can people find you?
Stuff. Okay, so if you want to follow me on Tumblr, then my URL is Charles Oberon. That's one word with 2 N's in Oberon. Other than that, it's spelled normally. My Twitter is Charles_Oberon with 2 N's. And you can also support me on Patreon, where I do writing, and I might do some videos in the future in patreon.com/CharlesOberon, one word.
Hey, cool. There you go. Go follow them. He's helped us with some theories and stuff in the past, so you should go definitely check him out.
I made several theories about Infinity Train for this channel, and several for Rick and Morty. And
yep.
I also wrote a bunch of other scripts that didn't get made into videos about other stuff, but don't matter really. And
cool. Awesome. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate a lot of insightful stuff and good links.
Oh yeah. Also, I think I might be the first person to ever theorize that Rose is Pink Diamond.
Oh man, that's a claim right there. That's a hell of a claim.
I'm among the first.
That's pretty crazy.
A post from January 2015.
It's pretty early.
We didn't even know any diamond beside yellow diamonds to exist. I theorized that Rose was Pink Diamond.
That's pretty great. Well,
Pink Diamond on Pearl's faces.
I praise you, my friend. That was good call.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
I was pretty smug about it on the day of the reveal, but I cooled down fast.
That's awesome, man.
But yeah, okay. I really gotta go now.
Okay, cool. Get some rest.
See ya.
Later, man.
Is it MYKAL?
MYKAL? It is MYKAL.
MYKAL.
MYKAL. Yeah, this just felt weird.
See you, MYKAL.
Yeah, take it easy.
See you, chat. And goodbye.
All right, that was Charles. It's some pretty good insight. We're gonna keep talking about this here, though. We still got a little more to go over. So yeah, this is a good post. Cartoon Network sucks now. All the characters look the same. See, I can do some dumb cherry picking too. So that's the thing, is like a lot of people are cherry picking to fit their own arguments. Obviously, these characters, Thundercats, He-Man, I think G.I. Joe's in here, like Conan, like there's just they have the same face. And then when we look at these characters, yeah, they have a lot of similar styles in theory, but the execution looks a lot more diverse comparatively, you know what I mean? So, and especially the T-Rex here, but it's, you can cherry pick these types of things. And these even have the same, like, similar color palettes also, which is also pretty crazy. So again, you could, and they even mentioned like, oh, I could do dumb cherry picking. So it's like this is all cherry picking. You can make it look the other way around. You can make it look like, oh, cartoons back in the day look so much more different, and you could just pick a bunch of shots from different characters that just look the same. So you could do it either way, really. What what I'm a bit upset about is the oversimplification of styles. Cartoon Network is constantly taking a show that was one thing and making them pure comedies. Pure comedies are fine and all, but not an overabundance of them. That is my thing. That is my main thing. I don't have any problems with Thundercats Roar or the creators, not even the network. I don't have a problem with comedies. I just have a problem that there's not a lot of diversity amongst the comedies. Because even back in the 90s, 2000, we had shows like, Batman. Most of them were superhero shows, to be fair. We had like Batman, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Superman. Again, they're mostly DC action shows for the most part. But you had X-Men too. Like, I mean, you had more action. And I guess they just sold more back in the day for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't have any children. I don't have any little siblings. How many subs will I get today? Lappy, I hope you get all the subs. Bless. So I just... That's my main thing. Pure Comedy's fun and all. Cartoon Network saw the success of Teen Titans Go. They're making comedy reboot after reboot. That's basically what's happening. And that's my thing. It's like, Teen Titans Go was really successful. Oh, this makes money. Let's keep doing that. And then it just gets oversaturated. And eventually, within 5-10 years' time, the kids are gonna be burned out, or they're gonna grow up, and it's gonna be a new set of kids, and they have to cater to those kids, and it's just gonna keep going down the rabbit hole. Also, Samurai Jack was action. I mean, it was action comedy, but overall, it was a little more of a serious show and a little darker in tone. So that was something different. Making comedy reboot after comedy reboot. The only one they made is Teen Titans Go, and that was 5 years ago. Teen Titans Go, comedy. Powerpuff Girls, comedy with a little action thrown in, barely. Ben 10, action comedy with emphasis on comedy. Justice League action comedy. Again, Superhero Girls, it's upcoming, comedy. Thundercats Roar, comedy with action. So, again, it doesn't mean that these shows are bad. It has nothing to do with, like they said, I'm not talking about the quality. But it just is very disheartening to only see networks, especially Cartoon Network, putting emphasis on comedy cartoons. And even for action cartoons, or even for adult cartoons, it's all comedies. Family Guy, comedy. Simpsons, comedy. Bob's Burgers, comedy. Rick and Morty, comedy. Final Space is a comedy. What else? American Dad is a comedy. Like, Futurama is a comedy. And these are all good shows. I guess some people might not agree with Family Guy. I think Family Guy's a good show. But, even though they've, gotten a little fatigued over the time, but I don't blame them. They're all comedies, and they're all good. They all have something to offer, and most part, it's new. It's at least unique to them, but there's no diversity. There's no anime-esque shows where it's like an adult superhero show or something along those lines. You know what I mean? What action is in Teen Titans Go? No, none. I don't think. Right? I mean, I guess sort of. Because, I mean, apparently, like, Cartoon Network, I've heard they do, like, focus groups, sort of. And when the kids say they love the action of Teen Titans Go. So, when they mean action, I think they just mean a lot of movement. It's not really action, like, proper, obviously. But, and the Teen Titans Go movie looks good. I'd actually want to see it. I'm surprised, because the first preview, I was like, I don't know. The first teaser. But the most recent trailer, I was like, yo, this looks like a solid movie. I'm actually super down. Miss having cable so much. I kind of miss cable. I mean, I have cable, but I don't really use it. I don't have it in my room. I have it in the living room. My landlord has it. So I kind of miss it too. It was like kind of homely. It's very nostalgic for me, cable. Which I guess says a lot that cable's dying, that it's nostalgic. It's having all the commercials and stuff and all the promos. Like, I don't really get to see that just being on the internet. Lappy's gone. Lappy. No, Lappy. Lappy, no. Why did you leave us? Only a few younger cousins, and they literally don't like watching most of the shows on Cartoon Network, except for maybe Gumball. Gumball's great. I mean, Gumball's probably one of the best cartoons ever made, honestly. It's really that quality. Oh, Lappy's here. Okay. Someone said Lappy died. I'm multitasking. Gotcha. I appreciate it. So that's my main thing. is just comedy. It's just all comedy reboots. And all these shows, besides Powerpuff Girls, which was already a comedy action show, all these shows were action shows. All these shows were action shows before they got rebooted. And now they're just comedies. And there's nothing wrong with comedies. Nothing wrong with comedy reboots. But it's when you take all these shows that were once action and not even making them action. I mean, you can't even do like a reboot of like some DC show or something like that, make it like more action oriented. Like, does everything need to be comedy? Not that the shows are bad, and not that I blame the network, because I get why they do it. But I'm rambling at this point. I don't know. So, Powerpuff Girls is always a comedy with a little action thrown in. Yeah, it's more comedy based. It's more comedy based now. Yeah, that's fair. It's more slice of life now, from what I've seen. A lot less action than in the original. Also, they made the show more appropriate for children. Right. Trying to make a point, they made a children's show more appropriate for children. And that's another argument. A lot of people say, oh, it's for kids. But it's like, well, does that mean it has to be like this? I don't know. Overall, I'm cool with Thundercats Roar. But I also understand why people are upset. I just hope people in the future can convey their upsetness in a way that is not disrespectful. And just give genuine constructive criticism rather than just flame wars and bashing stuff you don't like. And that's my main thing. No one remembers Tifrid? What is that? Is on Cartoon Network. What does that stand for? I can't think of any shows that stands for right now. Reboot the Jetsons. I mean, that would work. I mean, there's no reason not to. Art style is corny, but the trailer look fire. I mean, the animation looks really dope. I'm down for it. I'm super duper down for it. Transformers. Yeah, I think Transformers is a little more like kiddie and comedic, I believe. I'm pretty sure. And at the very least, I mean, my thing with reboots is like, I don't think you should reboot something unless you have a specific voice. And at the very least, these all have a new take on what they're rebooting. You know, like except for Powerpuff Girls, I don't think Powerpuff Girls really needed to be rebooted. I think they basically covered everything they needed to in the original. But I mean, all these shows, they're at least taking it a different direction. So that's definitely something. Because the one thing I hate is like when people make a reboot and it's like, why are we rebooting this? What are you gonna do that's so different or original or unique? And they're definitely doing unique stuff, whether you love or hate it. I gotta give them props for at least having a different take, a different point of view. You know what I mean? Thoughts on Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, and or Yabba Dabba Da. What is Guess Who? Guess Who? I'm guessing it's not that movie. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? And or Yabba Dabba Dinosaur. Is that a Flintstones reboot? Scooby-Doo and Guess Who is the whole title. I thought they were two different titles. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? Scooby-Doo, huh? Yabba Dabba Dinosaur features new stories from Pebbles, Bam Bam, and Dino. Interesting. I actually did not hear about this. I don't know how I missed. Oh, this was just today. Interesting. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? This is definitely worth a read, I think. Now, the second year, Boomerang is serving up some new original series and has announced the renewal of fan favorites. Family-friendly premium video subscription service is serving up new series featuring classic animated characters. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who brings back the Mystery Inc. gang for some sleuthing adventures with celebrity guests, while Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs features new blah blah blah. Interesting. So there's no pictures or anything, it looks like. Scooby-Doo and Guess Who. From Warner Bros. Guess Who features the Grand Edition, yada yada. Face of Fred, Daphne, not Scooby-Doo. Who's the Guess Who part? Biggest name in celebrity pop culture. Okay, so they're doing that stuff again. Halsey? What's Halsey doing as Scooby-Doo? Hello? See ya. Ricky Gervais, Kenan Thompson, Bill Nye, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Mark Hamill, Steve Urkel, voiced by Julia White. I hope so. Batman, Sherlock Holmes, The Flash, Wonder Woman, and many more. That's pretty cool. Because they used to do that a lot in Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? They used to do a lot of celebrity that like Harlem Globetrotters, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool that they're centering the whole show around that. I think that could lead to a lot of funny gags, actually. That sounds pretty cool. Yabba Dabba Dinosaurs. This seems like more for children, like little kids. Bam Bam are back. This quarter-hour animated series. Quarter-hour animated series. Really? So this is... Oh, wow. This is a 22-minute... Well, I guess no, because then it would be a 15-minute, technically. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. Pebbles, Flintstone, and Bam Bam Rubble are two best friends growing up in the prehistoric time. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know who they are. Yes, I don't know how I feel about this one. I know Seth MacFarlane wanted to remake Flintstones, but I don't think he ever got to. The new Scooby-Doo movies. Let's see. 17 Titans Go action compilation. It shows some action from the show. I can check that out. Thank you, JJ. And this would be cool, Scooby-Doo. See, I wasn't a fan of this art style personally. At least not for Scooby-Doo. Not that, you know, that's a bad art style. I just don't think it fits Scooby-Doo. Dorothy and Wizard of Oz. Really, I did not know that was a thing. New Looney Tunes. Okay, interesting. I'm cool with that art style. Lola's not hot anymore. That's interesting. I heard she has like a crush on Bugs now, so it's like reversed. Which I think that takes away from her like her power, her just like, you know, her energy that she exuded in Space Jam. But Wacky Race is back. I knew about that. In the Willows. I didn't know they had Tom and Jerry. That's pretty cool. It seems like it's more for like little kids. This comes out next year. Interesting. I didn't know this was a thing. Yeah, let's check out Teen Titans Go action compilation. I think I'm gonna call it after that. Teen Titans Go action compilation. Okay, so this is literally from Cartoon Network.
Sorry, bro.
So yeah, I mean, there's action, but it's not like action. You know what I mean? It's not like... That's pretty cool. But I wouldn't make this... This doesn't make it like an action show for me. You know what I mean? Oh my god, his face. Yeah, what is happening? What are their faces? That's amazing. Oh my god, I got like Magical Girl happening. That's great. Oh my god. Yeah, no, for a comedy show doesn't need... Yeah, like this isn't action, right? This is like... This is funny action. God, they're all speedsters. Teen Titrons. Oh my god, this is a... Oh my god, it's... Okay. I gotta give credit to... So if you guys don't know, episodes where like the characters are just stuck in one area and they all have to kind of interact, it's called a bottle episode. And they're literally stuck in a bottle. I'm done. That's amazing. That's amazing. And it's clearly a recap episode, which a lot of bottle episodes tend to be recap episodes. That's pretty crazy. Alright guys, so need you guys to do me a favor. Do me a solid, if you will. So I'm going to end this stream, but I'm going to go to another one. I'm going to go to a different stream. So, some of you may remember this. Okay, so thank you guys for coming through. I'm going to leave a link right now. You'll see it in a second. I'm going to be there in 20 to 30 minutes. If you want to head over to twitch.com or twitch.tv/Okamoto Kitchen. If you don't know, I stream some anime stuff. I'm tired of you. Why are you tired of me, Lappy? I got stuff to do. I got moves to make. I'm gonna be streaming over there. If you want to check that out, I might be playing. I don't know. I might play some Smash. I think I'm gonna play some Smash. It's been a while since I played Smash, and this would be a good excuse to play some Smash. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So you don't have Twitch. You don't need Twitch. You could just hop in the chat and just watch if you want. So I'm gonna be there between 8:50 and 9 p.m. Pacific time. So within 20 and 30 minutes. So want to check it out. That's where I'm gonna be. But thank you guys for joining me on this conversation. I don't know if we really covered too much, but it was fun. So long story short, TLDR. I'm cool with the Thundercats Go. Thundercats Go. I keep calling it that. Oh my god. Thundercats Roar remake. I think it's probably going to be a very good show. I just do wish. I do think it kind of is a sentiment of the industry that we keep getting action reboots as comedies. And I do wish that networks would take more risks and have more action or /drama /serialized shows to push for networks. So when new creators want to create those types of things, they don't just get shunned at the door. But overall, I like it. And if you don't like it, that's fine too. But just be respectful and be nice, and don't just keep calling it trash and bashing the creators, because that's not productive and it's not constructive. So those are my overall thoughts on it. If you guys think otherwise, you can tweet at me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So see you here. I'll leave the link again. 20 to 30 minutes. Some Smash. Just gotta set everything up, and then I'll be there. So I'll see you guys hopefully there within 20-30 minutes. See ya. I'm not trash, Lappy. Get out of here. Fired. Alright. See you guys. Thanks for coming through.